Back, Road Warrior here. I'm going to be entering into I haven't put this one up on my channel yet. We have had a server issue for any of you guys that know. The server did crash right in the middle of I was actually playing in the GARS tournament and it crashed right in the middle of that thing. But oh well, it's up and going now, so hopefully it doesn't crash again. If it does, then you know what happened there. But again, this is a quick comp. I've did fairly well in it, and sometimes you won't. You just never know what the computer is going to deal you up. So in other words, I could be pulling out a bunch of smallmouth and trout on accident. I may switch to. I kind of just show you a general strategy as all these things that I've been putting up for you. I put up as high as 190 in this and as low as 70. So I just never know what's going to happen. Hopefully the computer is doing all right, but I know their server was down. Basically, you want to catch all forms of blue catfish during the night. Both usage in the tournament is allowed. You can use it to drive from place to place, but you cannot fish out of it. So, again, only the fish from the shore will score. Keep nets, no stringers. And then as far as the rewards, X Series crankbait 1240, clothes feeder. The X Series walker, if you'd lost that, would be a great thing to pick up. Again, the only top three will play. Um, and then again on the looking down at the bottom, just a common catfish gets you 12 for the blue cats, 22 for a trophy, and 35 for a unique. So I'm actually going to start out with a crankbait. I'll show you the marks probably towards the end, but a lot of you guys are familiar with this map, so I'm assuming you kind of guys will all know where to go. So, but without further ado, we'll get in here and see what kind of luck we have. I just want to make sure I do got both of my crankbaits with me. I actually like the glow crank for this. This one works really well. And then also, yeah, that stinks, John. Sorry, I'm glad I'd registered for mine too. Well, I was in the middle. I wasn't doing fabulous, but I got where I had 5 or 6 gar in that thing, and then it froze with like 9 minutes to go. But oh well, it is what it is. The slimy crank actually works well here too, guys. But I'll start with the glow crank in a spot, and we'll see how we do. I went in this before and had bad luck, and just was catching a bunch of smallmouth. But I'm gonna try to get him with the crankbait first. If that doesn't happen, then I got a couple spots if it slows down. Again, I haven't figured this one out completely yet, but I usually can put up a decent score, but I never know. So I'm just gonna go in here and see how I do. Yeah, good luck, John. Good luck, man. I'm actually just gonna start right here off of this dock, so. I've seen people put up scores as high as 230 in this thing, so. And of course, I'm sure everybody's doing a little different. If you like float rods, you can use a float rod. I'll just try to go and see what can happen. I got a couple spots I'll rotate to, but just never know. This one could take a mix as well. You might want to bottom rods, float rods, whatever you guys like. I like lure fishing for them, so I'm going to give that an attempt. I put up a good score lure fishing before, but again, bite rate you can just never sometimes fix, so I did reset my app before I came into this, so. Be curious to see. Don't look like there's a fish biting right now. that spot either appears dead or nothing's happened, so I'll spawn over here. Normally I can get 2-3 fish off of that real quick, but again, I don't know if there's server issues or just it's going to be one of those days for me. I hope not, because I got a bunch of comps I wanted to live stream back to back, but we'll see. Hopefully the server holds up. I was hoping they added the tournament tab. I thought maybe that was what was going on while the server had crashed, but I guess not. Well, I got a license. I just hope I have a bite rate. I did. Thank you though, John. I did remember to get my license. I'm just hoping I got a bite rate. You know I can slay these things with a crankbait. Now, if they give me a 0 bite rate, that's going to be really annoying. There's something. Of course it's a common. At least we're on the board. I was going to say, they usually love this crank. And I have noticed in this particular spot off this beach, I don't get as many smallmouth bass or trout. That's a bad thing if you guys go to run this and you run the crankbait and the computer deals you that card, you could be catching a bunch of smallmouth. So if you like to use them float rods, then you can go through. There's a trophy. Since the spot's active, I'm going to keep casting. Again, the size really doesn't matter in this. It's just the points. You get extra points for, I want to say it's 12 for a common, 22 for a trophy, and then 35 for a unique. So, but generally speaking, the size of your trophy don't matter whether it's a 36 or a 54. But again, this comp can go really quick. So, and you can't use a rod stand. But if you wanted to bottom rod, I could say you could probably go, hook 4 to 7/0. Whatever your choice of bait is. Large cut bait usually works fairly well. But I normally start out a lot quicker than this, but These two usually work the best in my opinion, but they're pretty equal. This better be a trophy or better. Okay, there's still a uni out there to be had, so I'm going to cast a few more times, see if I can pick him up. If not, I'll go back to the boat dock and then make some moves from there. Just have to see. And then you guys watch my previous videos, I like to kind of just reel and float that off the bottom. You can just reel it in straight and still get them. As well as if you wanted to do a reel float, you can just do a stop and go on the bottom. But I like to work the bottom, let it float up a little bit. Work the bottom, let it float up a little bit. A lot of times they'll hit it when it's rising. But you can get them just on a straight crank. Just change your speeds every once in a while like that. Again, I'm going to keep trying to go for the uni because I know it's 35 points. So we've got two trophies and two commons from this spot. And two more casts. If I can't get the uni to hit, I'm going to have to rotate. That is not him. And I'm going to give it 2 more casts. If I don't get the uni, I got to rotate. It's possible he's sitting over there by the floating dock too, but since I'm scoring points, I'm just going to keep casting. They just will not give me that uni, but it's a steady bite. Also, you can come over here. I'll give you guys a couple marks off this. I'm assuming everybody probably has these, but you can even get them off a glow crawl, as you can see. There's a crankbait. And then if you needed there's a good mark for your bait if you needed it. Again, it'll be up to you guys on how you want to do it. I have more fun throwing a lure, so that's how I'm going to do it. I put up 190 points before with the lure. I'm definitely off pace for that this time, but again, if you were to do a float, you could probably, I would say, 60 to 80 inches deep. You know, small as 4.0 all the way up to 8.0, to be honest. This all depends on what your bite rate is. That's a big thing on the game if you guys haven't noticed. If you're getting a bad bite rate, then obviously a smaller hook would work. If you feel like you're on fire and you're wanting to target a bigger fish, then, you know, put a bigger hook on. If you do put large minnows on, you have a chance of trout and salmon and other things hitting it. So I would probably say, you know, huge cut bait, large cut bait, crayfish, that sort of thing. A stinky bait versus a live bait. I've had him hit it right at the dock before, but I'm having a fun. I should go back to the other boat dock. And then again, guys, just off the corner of this dock, either side's usually good. As you can see, crankbaits. Crankbait, or you can just throw the bait out there. And you can also drive over the floating dock if you needed to as well. Just take your boat. Just remember, you cannot catch them from your boat. You can just use your boat for transportation. try a shallower 4.0 just to see. More than likely, I'll probably pick up a smallmouth bass, but I just want to see. I have got him to hit the unique even to hit this before, but we'll see. That's weird that this spot's dead. This spot's usually normally really active. Yeah, there's a catfish. I think it's a catfish, unless it's a, no, it's not no salmon. But yeah, the unique will hit this as well, guys, even though it's a 4.0 hook. Don't mean I got the unique, but as you can see, for whatever reason, they wasn't hitting the other one. Looks like it's nice. Trophy or better, let's hope. But again, on this one here, you can kind of see, look at the score of these guys. These guys are, this is something that, I'm not going to say it's out of reach, but this is going to take you having a really good routine together to get up there in the 200s. But it's something fun to come in and try. As far as fun factor, as long as you get a decent bite rate, this one's actually fun to play in. So, and you never know, you could go on a really lucky run too. But again, a lot of the marks I showed up, you can just, you know, fish with the float rod or bottom rod if you wanted to. But just kind of cast either side of that dock's good. That could be something I don't want. That could be a salmon. Or a smallmouth bass, I think. That's a bad thing about the crankbait, too. I was showing my buddy John how to do this, and he was getting walleye, trout, and all kinds of stuff. We'd practice, and he did good with it. But as soon as he got in the comp, for whatever reason, he got the blocker card, where all he got was the blocker fish. So that can happen to you. But again, you know, you could put on huge cut bait, large cut bait, that sort of thing, and just kind of go around if you wanted to with a bottom rod or a float rod, just kind of depending. I think a lot of people are probably doing a mix, or they're just sitting over there off that floating dock with a really good bite rate. But again, that's going to happen to you. But here's my thing. I'll try this for you just to kind of show you. Here's what happens to me if I want to do. Let's say I'm just going to put on a 4.0. Let's say I want to do a large cut bait, which is a traditional strategy. I got mono leader on, so I should get a good bite rate. I'll cast out here to a bait marker. And then my thing is on a lot of these comps is if I cast out here, maybe I'll do good, maybe I won't, but we'll just see for a second. To me, it feels like I'm just sitting here doing nothing, so we'll see what happens. I'll give it a minute or so. If not, I'm going to go back to the crankbait. But again, I've had as low as 60 to 70 points in this thing, as high as 190. But even the time I got 190, those guys were in that 225 to 240 range. So I hadn't played in this one in a while, but I do like playing in this one. Did it? Oh, I thought the game froze again. The game froze in me right in the middle of the Moonlight Gar when the servers went down. I thought that just happened. But you could, just for me, again, this is just my personal preference. I'd rather do a crankbait because I can just sit here. That's an extremely small hook. It is a catfish tournament, so you'd think I'd have a bite by now. That's the problem that I have. Just me having just out of boredom. That's why I use the crankbait. And out of fun, I'll show you kind of a top secret bait that I like using here. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. There's a spot out here I like hitting. What's up, dude? Where is my mark? There it is. That's a really good bait here, believe it or not. The Amazonian sardine. How you doing, Doodles? I'm just posting this up just kind of so people have a blueprint on what to do on this. Now, again, I'm going to drive over here, and you could actually come over here, and I would want to say that's probably a popular way, too. If you wanted to drive over here, there's all these marks, too. I can show you guys if you need them. Like I said, my score is so far behind that I know I'm not going to place. Again, just putting these up here to kind of give you guys an idea. But yeah, 265 pounds, or 265 points, that guy's slaying them. So just to kind of help you out here, you can come over here with the float rod if you wanted and just fish off of here. But there's so many hooks over here, or so many marks over here you can just go around on. And then my buddy Josh, I don't think he'll mind us sharing. You can actually crankbait right here as well. So I'm going to try a couple casts at that. But again, for me, this one's more enjoyable if if I get a nice steady bite rate and the uniques are biting for me, I have a lot of fun doing it. So either way, as long as I'm catching something, I'm having fun in this one. And that's kind of what it's about, just having your enjoyment in it. But again, like all these I put up for you guys, I try to make sure you have just a base blueprint on what to do. From there, as much as I wish I could say, hey, Fishing Planet, give everybody an equal bite rate, that's going to happen to you. You'll come in and catch nothing but salmon or smallmouth bass. If you're a guy that enjoys float fishing, then go off here of this floating dock and go throw out all those marks I showed you. And then if you like bottom rods, there's plenty of spots to throw bottom rods out. And as well, if you wanted to, those are good bottom rod marks back there. These are all bottom rods. The uniques is there as well, but I just kind of got them spaced out, never remarked them. But there's plenty of marks there off of that boating dock, and you could also, even though my marks were here from casting, you can still cast this way and get the catfish too, guys. I'll probably pull in a salmon or something, but you can cast this way as well. Again, if this is a cool spot because you can just rotate around with the float if you wanted. Go there, see if you get a bite. Go there, and that's kind of how a lot of people do that. Go there, see if you get a bite. Go there, switch over to a bottom rod, come out here to any of these marks that I showed you. If you're a type of person that just wants to come in and have fun and just throw a crankbait like I do, that whatever works for you and makes it enjoyable, I think is the most important part. And then with a little luck, one day maybe you'll put a really good run together and you'll get up on that leaderboard. But again, a lot of these comps, this is definitely one of those that, those top guys, a lot of them already got this figured out. But just for the fun factor, normally this one could be a lot of fun. And it's filling slow. Same thing here. All the marks are right here. If you guys wanted to, it's not that very far out. Now you can get them with a crankbait as well. Also, the acid buzz bait on the glow crawl will work if any of you guys watched my Lucky 50 where I pulled out the same kind of a deal there. You can actually, now you will pick up salmon and stuff, but I've actually got these things on rib shads before as well. Offset hook 6. So, it's just, to me, I just have a lot more fun lure fishing in this one. I guess if I had, a bunch of time to practice just on this one comp and I wanted to come through and just fish with a float, I could probably put a pretty good routine together to probably get my score up there in the 220 range. But it's not something I'm going to invest that much time in. I forgot to even look and see what the rewards are. I think I might have showed that at the start, but again, it's something to pass the time if you've already leveled up and you're kind of bored and you want to come in and try this one out. I normally get a decent bite rate in this. And fishing for blue cats here is pretty fun. So again, as this thing closes out, I'll throw up some marks again for you guys. But nice bait mark there if you wanted it. You can see I caught that off a sardine as well. And then the place I was casting to over here that I normally get uniques, that's off the beach over here on the side. And then again, you can get them as well over here in the deep, but that's a really long cast. And then as well, just all through here. So I hope that helps you guys out. And this concludes the cats and night catchers here on Fishing Planet on my comp series. So that should help you guys out and give you a base of what you want to do in this thing. That way you don't just come in barefoot again. So if you're ever considering entering it, it's one worth playing just for the fun factor. As far as trying to, put a score together where you can get in that 250 to 270 pound ranges, that would take you probably a lot of practice, but it's definitely one I recommend to come in and have fun with. I'm going to end this stream shortly, and then in a little bit, I'm going to have a whole slate of comps I'm going to do that I've already covered, but I'm just going to live stream them for fun. I'm going to play in probably all 3 of these here. So I'll be putting them up here in a little bit. Oh, you're welcome, Josh. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for giving me the compliment. Yeah, it's like I said, I've got most of what I need in the game, but like I said, I like having friends. I like sharing what I've learned in game, and I know how tough some of these things could be. That's kind of why I started to help everybody out with these things. So, again, I'm still learning through them myself. Again, personally, what I'll probably do once I'm done with this grind, I'll probably pick the 6 to 8, 10 of them that I like the most, and then just whenever they're on and I'm playing, that's what I'm going to focus on, practicing on the ones I really like. Now, some of the ones I'll be stuck in is trying to go for that X-Series shad. So hopefully I'll probably just pick the one I think I have the best chance of getting X-Series shad from there. But again, the rewards on this, that crankbait 4.0, and then and maybe an extra walker. I probably don't care about the closed feeder. I don't know. I guess is that drawing more fish or something? I don't know. The X-Series walker would be great to have, and the backup 12-footer would be great to have. So there's not really the rewards here, not really that fabulous. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be putting up a live stream here in a little bit again. Take care, and thank you guys for tuning in.